QUICKTIME report, and don't forget to keep it locked.
Hi, I'm Mike Snitch, bringing you the news and reviews for QT News. Stop the Weapons Conference 2006. Activists from all around the country are getting ready to take action against the New Zealand Defence Industry Association, NZDIA, conference taking place at Te Papa next week 17 to the 18th of October in Wellington. Peace Action Wellington has been actively organizing against the so-called War on Terrorism since September 2001. Our campaign focuses both on the military occupation in Iraq and Afghanistan as well as the assault on freedoms and civil liberties in Aotearoa under the guise of fighting terrorism. The New Zealand government has deployed special forces, the SAS, to Afghanistan to assist in so-called direct action missions. It has deployed army engineers to assist the British occupation of Basra. It has also passed significant anti-terrorism legislation including the Terrorism Suppression Act, the Borders Security Act, the Maritime Security Act, the Telecommunications Interception Capability Act, and significant amendments to the Crimes Act. All of these laws significantly impinge upon the civil liberties of citizens.
Hi, I'm Clara Didge, bringing you news and reviews for QT News. Black Deaths in Custody, Rat Bag Radio Network. Australia, Brisbane, on October 10th, members of Queensland's Indigenous community and their supporters marched on the Queensland State Parliament. The protest had been called to demand justice for Palm Islander Mulroney, killed in police custody in November 2004. The intention was to present petitions collected throughout the state which demanded that the police officer found responsible in the recent coroner's report for Mulroney's death be sacked.
Aboriginal people. Put him in a cell. Just put him straight into the cell because we know that once you put him on charges, like you're going to take another 3 years, another 4 years to go through agony, pain and suffering and depression again. Over it.
Socialising, having a good time when he was arrested and sold. I believe in a God of justice and they are all responsible for the life of this young man.
And we have gathered as a community, this Aboriginal family across Australia, who has lost a loved one to a death in custody. And the list goes on and on and on.
Hopefully the DPP will do the right thing and bring justice to my family. We have lost so much over the last 2 years. We've lost a brother in a police cell. I've lost an auntie lady, his mother. His only son recently just died. It's been a very bad couple of years. I hand these petitions over in good faith.
Warren Pitt and I, Warren's the responsible minister, we're happy to meet a delegation if that's what you want to do following this. We've received the petition. But I want to say a couple of things to you.
Please, let's show respect now.
Let me just say a couple of things to you. Look, we understand the difficulty. Hang on. And I want to, as I've indicated at the beginning, I want to pass on our condolences to your family. Okay. The second thing I want to say is this. Many people said at the beginning, when this happened, that there would not be due process. Now what's happened is basically, I said at the time that the coroner would go through a due process and the matter would be followed appropriately, and that's what's happened. The second thing I want to say to you is this. Indigenous Australians have been fighting for a fair go for 200 years. If you want a fair go, the only way you'll get that is if the process is allowed to be followed appropriately. The Director of Public Prosecutions, no you don't. The Director of Public Prosecutions is independent. That director will make a determination. If you want justice for the long term, the due process has got to be followed, and that's exactly what will happen. I'm quite happy now to meet with a delegation, and I would invite that delegation to join me in Parliament House now.
The police officer named Chris Hurley had in the time since the Aboriginal's death been promoted and transferred from Palm Island to the Gold Coast, and no administrative action had been taken against him.
Hi, I'm Crystal Jones bringing you the news and reviews for QT News. Australian government demands handover of Solomon Islands Attorney General. The Howard government is engaged in an increasingly aggressive attempt to unseat the Solomon Islands government and Prime Minister Manasseh Sogavare, amid an ongoing standoff over the fate of Julian Moti, the Solomons Attorney General arrested in Papua New Guinea on September 29. Moti has been targeted both as a means of undermining the Sogavare government and to avoid any scrutiny of the Australian-dominated regional assistance to the Solomon Islands Ramsey. Australian forces were dispatched to the Solomons in 2003 after the Howard government declared the Solomons a failed state and a potential haven for terrorists. Ramsey took over the country's key economic, judicial, and security institutions. Ramsey was never a humanitarian intervention and was instead aimed at securing Australia's domination of the South Pacific. Opposition to Ramsey among ordinary Solomon Islanders mounted as it became evident that Australia is doing nothing to alleviate the country's endemic poverty and unemployment.
Don't forget to keep tuning into the QUICKTIME report. Keep it locked.